Hi, Julie Torrens here. So, on my desk, I'm getting ready to get some journals prepped up to do some collage. I'm really in the mood to collage, but I don't really have any pages prepped up. So, this is a journal that is from Diane Reevely, and it's the dialogue, I think so. But it's the Traveler's Journal, and you can see I just got started in this one. This one has graph paper in it, but I just started with some collage, and that's more collage. Just having fun. Acrylic painting. I think this is on a video. Acrylic painting. I know this one's on a video, but that's as far as I got in this. So I thought, okay, this will be a good one to get some collage on. So we're going to work in this one. I'm just setting it aside. I've got my big Diane Reevely, and this is another one of her art journals, and this is the large art journal, and I just love it. And then this is, I'm just setting it down. This is a repurposed book, Flowers for a Friend, and I've done all kinds of different work. Look, I've even got some little bit prepped up, but just all kinds. But I thought, I've got more pages in here, and I want to keep working them. So I've got German to English, really old, crispy dictionary kind of thing. So we're going to repurpose that. Look at that, 35 cents. But I mean, nobody wants this. It's, it's out of date. Look at this, March of 90 something. I don't know, but isn't that fun? Anyway, good for collaging. I've got this book for book page. This is from the library. I paid $0.25. They're going to get rid of it. The only thing about this book, I have to be careful because sometimes it's got bad words. So there we go. I've got some tissue paper scraps, which are always fun. I'll just set those up here. I've got some, and I've got them in that tissue paper. Some tissue paper that is pattern pieces. Got some of those in there. I've got my old Webster, bought it without a cover. Got some of that, and again, nice and foxed and dark. I love that. I've got my recipe book that I've been taking out of. Love the font, a lot of fun. And I've got an old Baptist hymnal that's got some great music note paper that I can take from. So these are the sources that I'm getting, and I have already some stuff tore out. So we're going to just use some of that. But I want to get this covered, and I want to be able to do collage on top. So because I'm going to be using mixed media on top, I don't know exactly what. I am not using a glue stick. I'm going to be using a gel matte medium. And so this makes a great adhesive, and you can see I use it, but that will get this stuff adhered, and when it's dry, I'll be able to do just about anything on top of it. So let's get started. I'm not going to use pieces that are too big, but I'm not going to use pieces that are real small either. Like this is a nice straight piece, and I think I'm just going to lay that right in there. Let's roll up the sleeves. I've got a brush here. Put another journal on the floor, and let's get started. I'm going to wet my brush so that the gel medium doesn't just coat the bristles before it's willing to give me any of its goodness. So that's what I like to do. This has gotten thick, still very, very usable, but because it's getting thicker than it really should be, I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. And I'm not really watering it down with that little bit of spray, but I'm just replacing the humidity that's been lost because the jar was, it's been used, and even though I close it, the air from the lid down, that air space will take up moisture. So I'm just going to lay some of this on here, nice and generous. I don't care if I'm going over where my piece is going to be. As a matter of fact, it's better if I do. And then I'm just going to lay this piece right in there, and I'm going to give it a coat on top because I want, pardon me, I want all the paper to be equal. I don't want some paper to be more absorbent than other paper. I don't want some paper to be less absorbent. You know, I want it to be the same. Now this is a small piece, and I'm going to put it right in here. And yes, it's upside down. It doesn't matter. I tend not to go in a diagonal. A lot of artists do. A lot of artists don't. It's just a personal preference. I have seen art done where people did go in diagonals with their words and their music. It looks beautiful. When I try to do it myself, it just looks to me like everything is going to fall off the page. And I don't know why, but just me. Okay, let's get some other stuff here. I am going to, I don't think, did I go over the top of this? Let's do that again. If I'm not sure, do it again. Okay, set that there. I'm going to get rid of this wonky edge. I like that edge in some applications, not this one. I still want this to say background. I don't want it to say foreground. And its words are really quite enough. So I'm going to take this big margin off of this one. I didn't take margins off of the other one. You know, no rules, just have some fun. Maybe I can stick this piece down here. So how are you? I am home from work. I'm not happy about that. And it's because of the weather. But I get to be with you. So there's always a plus. But I work for a reason. I need to make a living. And as much as I wish I could say that my art and my YouTube channel are doing it, not yet. Maybe someday. I've been at it almost a year. This is January. I want to say, all right, what is today? Maybe the 26th of January. It's a Friday. But I need 1,000 subscribers, and I've got about maybe 440. I'm getting there, and you know, as long as I'm in an upward trajectory, as long as when I look at the graphs that YouTube provides, then and things are moving up, then I'm okay. If they start moving down, well, then I know I'm going to have to change things up a bit. But those of you who've been with me and are faithful, I am so grateful. It means a lot, and I don't want to lose you either. So thank you for being here today. Doesn't that look pretty? You know, sometimes for me, this can all be, that's a little piece. This can all be almost enough. This is a good corner piece, so I'm going to just plop it right in this corner. And yes, I have 2 pages similar together. That's okay. That's all right. I do like the difference in the colors. Do you know what I mean? I've got like some beige, I've got some white, I've got some almost brown. I like all that. I'm just taking off margin from this book page. And let's take off that edge. And let's get this. It's the gel medium is already starting to thicken up on me. That's okay, but just I want to keep it in mind because I really don't want, if I can avoid it, dry spots under, because then they'll bubble up when I go to do the next step. So I really want everything as attached as I can get it. I'm going to hit this with some more water. Again, I'm not taking the product from where it was. See, here's a bubble. I'm not taking the gel medium for where it was and then bringing it different. I'm going to take some scissors. I'm going right in here and I'm going to cut it just like that. And then I'm going to peel this up and get some more gel medium under there. And that is not even going to be noticeable. I hope. I don't think it will. All right. Let's get a small scrap for here. All right. It got crooked on me. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Get some more. Get this for along the bottom here. The pieces don't have to be too small. I'm not going to just divide it into 4s, but I don't need to have like postage stamp size pieces either. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Just a little bit around the top there. I'm going to go ahead and take another straight edge and work it right here. I don't know if I'll make it all the way to the top, but I think I'm going to put it at the top. And if I need to fill in that space at the right in here, I can still do that. But I might as well utilize these nice straight edges if I can. The adhesive that I'm laying on top, you cannot depend on that sinking in and gluing it to the bottom. Now, maybe if you just used a medium, there, you know, this is gel medium, but there just has a medium, which is more liquidy. Maybe that will eke its way in. I don't know, but I do know that I need to get adhesive generous. All right, now I think I'm going to put it up here. I'm missing the corner by just a little bit, but that's okay. Now I brought you as far out, you know, you're higher up, but yet I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing. So sometimes you may not see the very tippy top of a journal or the very bottom of a journal, but you can get the drift of what I'm doing. It'll be fine. All right, let's get maybe another piece of music note paper. I'm going to take this corner off. Now I've got this straight edge. I can get that right here. I want to bring it. If it doesn't completely cover, it's not a disaster. If there's a little bit of, oh, you know, of the underneath book showing on the very bitter edge, that's okay. We can use some acrylic paint or we'll do something. And there's wrinkles, but we're starting with wrinkles. So that's fine too. It's all a part of the whole ambiance of this thing. I've got this little scrap and I've got a little bit showing right here. So since one is so handy, and I can even trim once it's dry, I can trim this up where it's overlapping. So that's fine. All right, we just have a tiny little corner up here. So let's take care of it. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to hang over, but it will be trimmed when things get dry. Okay. I don't even know if you can see this. I hope so. looks a little dry. There. All right. Okay, we'll call that side done. I'm going to do the same over here. Now, I hope you're not bored. However, when I've left this part of a process out, then people say, oh, I wish I could have seen. And it's been a while since I've done this, since I've worked on creating some backgrounds ahead. And, you know, when I hear YouTube people, I'm not saying it's bad, but when they say, well, you know, you can just look back. Well, do people? Not always. You know, if I'm going through and maybe oh, this is so crooked. If I'm going through like 3 or 4 years of multiple times a week videos to try to find the one that I want, I don't take the time. That's just the facts. I mean, maybe that's not nice. But it's rare that I take the time. Now, if people have linked it, you have a better chance of me going ahead and looking at the part that I missed. But I just thought, you know what? Time for a refresher for all of us. So I've got another piece that's got a corner margin, and I'm just going to plop it right up here. This is so sticky that when I set it down, it doesn't want to move. I get no grace. So, okay, we can just work with that. Okay, good, good. We've got another straightish edge. We can put that right here. Like that. So I set out some meat from the freezer. I mean, if I'm telling people it's too rough for me to go ahead and drive, then I'm not going to be driving all around, you know, although I will say there's a difference between driving at night and driving in the day. And there's a difference between going 1.5 miles and going 50 miles. However, I still feel like, you know what? You don't need to run to the store. Use what you have is a motto that goes in more places in my life than simply doing art. Use what I have. Get in that freezer. You say you save it for things like a snow day. Well, here we are. So, yep. Got some meat out of the freezer, and I got the fixings all together. I have an onion. I have a couple of heads of garlic, and I'm going to make myself some chili tonight. I like chili. It's the good weather for it. I don't mind having the stove run for a while. There's just a tiny little space peeking through, and I'm just putting this right there. Okay, I'm still not to the edge there. I'm not going to worry about that. And let's see, I'm down to this. So this is really quite white, and so is this. Maybe I'll stick a few pieces of tissue paper. What do you say? As I add things that have color, I am concentrating more on the edges to keep the middle more plain where I want to eventually put a focal point. But, you know, let's just change it up on this one a little bit and give it some tissue color. This is repurposed tissue. I can see the dry. And my furnace just kicked on, so that's going to help accelerate things drying before I get them down. And tissue paper, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some wrinkles. Embrace it. All right, come on. There we go. Okay, dry, dry. Everything feels so dry. I'm giving this a few more squirts. And onward we go. I don't have any recipe. Let's get some of that. This is a book that I got from the thrift store. And what it is where women all got together and they hired a publishing company and they typed up, and these are like typed on a Selectric typewriter. You can just tell by the font, but they typed it up and then they sell the books, and you're getting all home recipes that have been in their family for literally years, and a lot of fun. And they were often pretty darn good recipes. I've got a straight edge in my hand, and I'm gonna put it right in here. I think that's good. Nice, very nice. Okay, I've got space here. Put my brush down so I'm not so clumsy. All right. Looks good. Get a little piece of, I keep grabbing that, and I want to save it for an edge. All right, let's grab some more. This is just the Webster. All right, I want some down there. I'm gonna save the corner. Utilize an edge. Yeah, it's going to be really cold tonight and blowing snow. So that's why I need to stay home. I mean, when that snow blows out in those cornfields that I'm going, and there's nothing in the fields right now. So the snow just has a heyday. And to do that for 50 miles, and as I say, it is pitch black out there because it's so remote. There's not even like advertising signs very much. So it's just a mess. Something that a woman my age does not need to be battling. How do you get around? Maybe you live in a snowy place and you use a snowmobile or something. I mean, there's a lot of people that do. And when we have had some serious snow, I heard the snowmobiles. And hey, if you can take a snowmobile and get some milk or something, why not? Okay, this is looking good. Here, we need to do something there. Well, I've got this piece. This is some recipe page. That can go there. We can move it a little. Yeah. And now right there. Music note paper. Good. Okay, now, before I do pretty much anything on any of this, it needs to dry, and I mean dry and cure. So it's going to be an overnighter. But there we go. Just got a couple pieces of tissue. Maybe I can utilize tissue paper a little more in the next go round. All right, here's a small one. I'm going to grab a couple of clips. Not only will it help hold the book, it helps hold the pages a little bit tighter, so I have a little bit less of a chance of it migrating underneath and gluing the pages shut. But if it does, you know, you just take a little knife blade and open it up. It's not a big deal. And now we're going to have some clickety-click. I'm sorry, but that's just life. Now, some of these square corner pieces that I've been saving. I'm going to hit this again with some water. And let's get this on here. Click, click, sorry. This has a rounded corner, so I'm going to have to give that a trim, no problem. I'm going to get this all the way. There we go. Because I live alone, and yes, my son and daughter-in-law, they live close, but they work full-time. So I never want to be that mother-in-law or mother that's, you know, every time the snowflakes fly, oh, I need this, I need that. So I really work hard to keep things in my home, like toilet paper, loaf of bread in the freezer, peanut butter, some ramen, so that if I get sick and I can't go out, or if the weather is prohibitive of me going out, I can still do fine on my own. And if you're a mom or a mother-in-law, or maybe you've got a niece and a nephew that help you out, keep that in mind. Yes, they love you. Sure, they say, oh, we don't mind. Save that grace, you know? And I'm only saying it because it's what I do, you know, and I'm not saying, you know, since I do it, you should do it. We all should do it. We should all be considerate of those people that lend us a helping hand, and not just figure that we can live helter-skelter and they'll always bail us out. That gets old. When you're raising a family, working full-time, and then you've got someone that every week or every other day is asking you to run errands for them. Oh. That's all I have to say. Oh. Okay. Now, let's put, I'm going to take that clip off of there, and we can put this up against this edge. Won't make the corner, but it's going to make quite a bit here. And yeah, I am treating the left side and the right side like two different papers, because if you try to do an awful lot in that seam, it's going to want to bump up on you. It just is. And so I'm just avoiding that headache. I can still do art that goes on both sides, but I just don't want, as time goes on and the open and close, that it's going to want to break there all the time. All right, let's change gears a little bit and get some tissue on this one. Why not? And let's see, I'm just looking. I do have collage all the way to the edge. It's just kind of got a border there. But I'm gonna get this on here. Let's make sure I have enough. Like I said, I'd rather go outside the margin of what I'm putting down. There we go. working from the inside out with something that is as delicate as this. Oh, that looks so cool. I just love that look. I really do. All right, let's see. You can get a fairly straight piece for here. I think that'll look great. Good. Now I just have a little piece over here. And maybe I'll just put this there. And then we've kind of got a swoop of it kind of going like this way. And again, I'll be trimming it. All right. Okay. One more side here. Use one of these corner pieces that I was so protective of. Stick that right down there. Let me know in the comments if you've got some journal pages prepped up like this. Is that something that you already do on the regular? So it's been a while since I've done this because I've just been doing other things. I've been gessoing my journal pages, but I haven't been prepping them up with collage, not for a little while. And let's get this piece. Kind of looks like a state, but I don't know which one. Looks like a map piece. Oh boy. Dry, dry. Okay. That looks beautiful. Okay. How about some of this? This is recipe page. Sometimes you think that a smaller space will collage much quicker. Not really. And I don't know why that is. At least it doesn't feel like it to me, like it goes quicker. But I'm enjoying myself. I hope that you're liking this. How we doing? I think I'm going to put some of this other turquoisey color. Let's see here. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how this is even going to lay on here, but I was thinking something on the order of this. Let's get you down. And there we go. Looks beautiful. Okay. How about a pattern piece? This has a nice straight edge. So dry. Give it a little mix. Okay. think it's folded. Yes, it is. There we go. Whoop. It's a little corner wants to, oh, the more I touch it, the more it curls. There we go. Hey. Boy, that's stubborn. All right, it is what it is. If it's curled up, it's curled up. That looks pretty. All right, little bit of here. Here's a corner. Not sure it'll cover the whole thing, but be a good start. Yeah, that's fine. All right. We've still got some showing, but it's this graph. And I'm kind of thinking about leaving it. I don't know. Maybe it'll look like that. It'll look like, oh, she quit. Oh, here. I've got some recipe right here. There. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I can't move it, but boy, my brush just had it take off. Well, it's staying right where it is. It is just the way it is. Move up. There we go. Okay. Set this book aside. There's going to be some trimming involved. No problem. And we got one more to go. Okay. Now this is the big one. So make room. Here we go. As I said, you may not see the whole top or the whole bottom at any given time, but don't worry about it. Here's a little corner piece. I'm going to go ahead and stick it right here in the corner. That's not the right way. This way. No, that's not the right way. This way. And these have rounded corners as well, so I'm just going to have to trim those up when we're done. Okay. Nice straight edge here. Okay. Good. Another oh, this is a corner. After talking about that chili, I'm a little bit hungry myself. But I've got some apples and things that I can snack on, so I will be just fine. I even have some celery cut up. Sure do. Another corner. See, now I'm happy that I saved all these corner pieces. Now this brush, even though I wet it to begin with, I can tell you that with all this working of it, this gel medium is sunk far in. And that's fine, but it's just going to need a really good wash. And I will probably take this into the sink and I will really, really give it a good washing with soap. When acrylics are wet, soap will help break them up. Once it's dry, no. I've heard of people soaking brushes for literally months in things like hair conditioner or fabric softener, and they're just like new. I don't think they're ever just like new. I don't know what the quality of those brushes were when they started, but I don't think they're just like new. And I wouldn't count on that working. And you know, we invest a lot in our tools. And we want good tools. We want the tools to do what they're supposed to do. And so take that little minute and don't just leave your brushes soaking overnight, but you know, give them a chance to recover and get clean. I'm going to dip my brush in some water because the brush itself might be just getting so dry. Oh boy. It's a fold here. Sometimes folds, even in tissue paper, can haunt you. So if you can get rid of it, but if you can't, then it is what it is. Something's holding it down if you can't get it back up. So, okay. That still leaves a space, and I'm not crazy about it. Here, maybe I'll put this right here. Yep. Alrighty. How about some more book page? Well, I've got this piece here. Let's not grab more when you've got some right here, Julie. I'll put this here. Okay, now grab some more. We haven't pulled anything out of that German book yet, and we haven't pulled anything out of this book yet. So let's just see. Grab a couple pages from here. If I find a bad word, I'll just glue a flower on top or something. I don't want to be offensive to anyone. And I should be flattered if someone's taking the time to read my collage that closely. Let's see, dip. Okay, a little more. All right. More tissue, maybe? Maybe some pattern piece? This too has a bit of a curl to it. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Looks interesting. We just have this edge. This pattern piece has a nice edge, so maybe I will put it, I'm just unfolding the little curls and corners that are there. Like that. I like the way that it shows the book page underneath, but yet it holds its own in the white spaces. I do like that. All right, let's see about here. I just tore off some margin. And I'm going to hang it over the edge and then I can trim it up later. This is lighter. This is lighter than any of the other papers we used. And I like that. Okay, just this corner. Well, I don't think I have a bit of music note. Oh, and I have a little space there. Okay, music notes. I think this will work fine up here. I'm taking it over the edge a little bit for trimming later. And yes, I rescued this literally from the trash. So we've got this side. Are you hanging in there with me? Can you stand one more? I think you can. I've got this big old piece of navy blue. Well, it's got a nice edge and corner. Maybe I'll put it down here. I don't mind the dark, but I want it towards the outer edge. Yeah, that'll be fine. I would rather trim some off than not have enough. Good. Now I don't want that to just be lonely all by itself, so I am going to add one more piece at least. I'm going to get the spray. Okay, small piece up here, and then I think that'll be enough of this navy. Nice. Okay. Maybe some of this lighter. Good. Pattern piece. Well, here's a strip. I can put this along here. Why not? That looks good to me. This is more tissuey than the others, but that's fine. Variety is good. Some music note paper over here. Book page. Okay. Where is the dictionary? Put it right along this edge. There. I would rather cut it off than have a little bit showing through that should be covered. All right. And another piece of music note. And here. So dry. Get in the water. Okay. Good. How about that? Good. All right. Book page. It's gotten dark outside. Not stormy dark, but we had some nice sunshine going on, but I think that's done. They had said we were going to have a little bit of sun showing, but that it would give way to winter snow clouds, and they were right. Do you listen to the weather every day? Or do you live in a place that you really don't have to? When I lived in Arizona, I listened to the weather every day, but really, so many times it was just, severe clear, high clouds, sunny, hot, sunny, hot. That was a lot of what we heard. Let me grab another piece of dictionary page. It's taking off the harsh edges. I can use a harsh edge up here. And that looks good. There we go. Okay. And some more dictionary. Maybe over here. All right. And we haven't gotten any recipe book lately, but I don't even think I have any on here. It's all right. Let's see what this piece will do up here. Okay, check the wording on this one. I may have to edit that out because that word will probably trigger the YouTube, and I don't need that. So all I need is them to shut down my one and only channel. So I will probably edit that out. Okay. So yeah, if you're at this point and you are like, hey, well, I put in a piece of book page that had a bad word, so. I was protecting you. Yeah, the YouTube thing that scans what we do before it lets it go out there, it is just a computer. It doesn't know context. It doesn't know why you're talking about anything. It just picks up a word and bam, it will just throw it out there. Now, once a human, then, because it will throw it to a human, but they are, you know, they're not just sitting on their hands with nothing to do. So you end up waiting for them to straighten it out. And still, they may still want that word edited out. So it could hold your channel up for a long time. And again, nobody needs that. So if you ever notice a little something like no explanation, there's just a piece missing of my video, that's why I took it out, because I didn't want YouTube to tell me to take it out. Okay, well, if you've hung in there with me this long, then I appreciate it. Thank you. And you must like the content, so please give me a thumbs up if you would. And if you haven't subscribed, today's a good day to do that. Just give me a little subscription. It helps my channel more than I can say. It'll help me on these snow days when I can't work my day job. And I'd appreciate it so much. There we go. In the meantime, I want to thank you for being here, and we will be working on these backgrounds together with the next step soon. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye now.